Hi folks, my name is Wendy. Welcome. If you're brand new around here, I'm happy that you joined us today. And if you are joining because of the title of this video and you're just being nosy and you want to know what's going on, totally fine. We don't care. Those of you that have been here a long time, you probably are like, what the world is happening now? So let me jump in and tell you. First of all, I want to address a handful of things. Let's talk about first what's happening in the industry. So if you've watched other videos on this subject, you probably already know what's happening. There are a lot of creators out there that have addressed this and talked about this. So basically, our economy is struggling right now. And because of that, card making is struggling. And my personal belief system is that if people can't put food on their table and gas in their cars, the last thing they're going to be spending money on is crafting supplies. So it's kind of one of those things that's like the first to go if you're having to cut costs or cut budgets, especially because card makers tend to maybe hoard just a little bit. It seems to be a common theme, myself included. So what I see a lot happening right now is people are using their stash. Instead of buying new, they're diving into their stash and they're using that until things get a little bit better, and then they'll be back to buying card making supplies. I don't think the industry itself is going anywhere. I just think what we're gonna see happen is a downsize. So I feel like we're already starting to see that. So the bigger companies are probably going to be the ones that can survive this. The smaller companies may not be able to. And that is absolutely heartbreaking and it's a shame. But I also think one of the things that has happened in the card making industry is there maybe is a little bit of oversaturation. And I'm really being careful when I'm saying these things because in my mind, I'm thinking of all the owners of companies that I know that I love so much. And I would never want to offend or hurt anybody's feelings by saying there's an oversaturation. But I think what has happened is there was a boom in this industry and the economy had a lot of stimulus being pumped into it during the pandemic. And so people were buying in excess with money they didn't normally have. And that wasn't just in card making, that was across everything. Everybody was buying with money that wasn't normal income for them. So I think we rode that for a while and then all of that stimulus went away. And then, I don't really want to get into economics or politics. God love ya. Please. I don't want to get into politics. Please do not post anything political below this video. I don't want any fights to break out. So the bottom line is, we're seeing a change in the trend and a downturn in the industry, and it's just happening across the board. And there's just no denying it. I mean, it's just what's happening. Okay, so that being said, I think there's some smaller companies that have already shut their doors. As we know, Joann's has closed their doors across the U.S., or they're working on it. They have filed bankruptcy. 800 stores across the United States are closing. So crafting is just kind of on a downturn right now. And I think it will come back. It's just going to take a little bit of time. However, there's people like me and you who are diehards who are not going to just fold up shop and not do this anymore, right? However, that kind of segues me into my next part of this video. For 14 years, and if I get a little teary-eyed or a little misty when I'm talking about this, I'll get it together. Don't mind me, but I just want to be really transparent. So for 14 plus years, I have ran a card making business. And it's been selling craft supplies. So as most of you know, when I started, I was selling Stampin' Up! And I grew a really large team. I was in the top in the company. And really what happened with Stampin' Up!, I have a whole video on that if you want to watch it. There is a link. But basically, I outgrew Stampin' Up! Is how I feel. I outgrew them emotionally and creatively, because there were just lots of things I wanted to do and explore that Stampin' Up! Didn't offer. And I think Stampin' Up's base idea of having all these coordinating products and catering to beginner stampers is not a bad idea. The only problem is if you hit a certain level and you're a lifestyle crafter like myself, you kind of start getting bored with that. So anyway, this isn't a video about Stampin' Up! This is just, I'm just giving you some brief history. So 14 years I did that. I left just before I hit my 14-year mark, actually. I left in July of 2024. When I did that, my income, okay, so I'm going to explain something so that you understand how it works. I was earning a sizable income with Stampin' Up! For a long time. When the economy started to shift, my sales started to go down. Then I made personal decisions to quit doing classes and events, and my sales plummeted. So that is because all of my sales were tied to me doing events where I would order all the products, package it all up along with kits, and mail it out to people. I'm going to be totally honest here. I could not envision doing that for the rest of my life because I did not enjoy it enough. I went through this really weird period of feeling like if I don't enjoy that, that means I don't enjoy crafting. And I'm on the other side of all of it, and I realize that's not the truth. The truth is I did not want to sit and cut cardstock for other people by the hundreds of pieces and prep and package stuff by the hundreds for years and years to come. That did not sound fun to me, and I really didn't enjoy it. So that was stealing my joy, and I would dread working because it wasn't fun, and I didn't enjoy it at all. Now, I get that with every job, there's things that you have to do that you don't enjoy. But this was becoming, it was becoming more than just like, oh, there's this one little thing I do, because it was the bulk of what I did. I didn't craft. Most of what I did was advertising, administrative work, packaging, shipping, answering customer emails. Like, I would say 85% of what I did was that, and maybe 15% crafting. And so while it was lucrative, it really stole my hobby is what happened. It took my hobby from me because it no longer was a hobby, it was a business. And that's fine, and that's great, and for some people, more power to them. If that works for them, I have no issue with that. It was just a personal thing for me. And so anyway, okay, so that was kind of what happened with Stampin' Up! I was just like, I don't like doing this way. I want to create, I want to be creative. And what I really wanted was to be able to work for design teams and just be an affiliate for companies. Because then I could craft, then I could create, which is what I want to do. So, okay, I make the decision in July 2024 to leave Stampin' Up! After I leave Stampin' Up!, I start working with a few different companies here and there. They trickled in, little stuff here and there. And I was doing okay with affiliate stuff, and I had only one company that was paying me at the time to make content, and I was getting free product in exchange for creating, and you know, that's kind of how the outside world works with designing. And so fast forward to now, what the deal is that the economy is just not thriving. Like, I can no longer make a living doing this. I think that's the first time I've actually said that out loud, maybe to my husband, but yeah, I can't. I cannot sustain a living doing this. But what I can do, and this is where the starting over talk, we're going to get into the starting over talk, okay? The 44-year-old mama starting over talk. So, when I was a little girl growing up, if you would have asked me what I wanted to be, it would have been an attorney or a police officer, a detective, something in the criminal justice world. And so I'm kind of past that point now. I mean, I could go back to school and become an attorney, but by the time that actually happened, it'd be 8 years from now, and my husband would be well into retirement and I would be starting a career. That didn't sound appealing to me. So I have a friend who is a retired police officer, and he does background investigations. So I'm at his house one day talking with him and his wife, and we were talking about other stuff, and we kind of segued into like all these changes that are happening in my life. So most of you probably know I've like become a city council member. I have a daughter that's getting close to graduating high school and going to college. We're on that path. I only have one child, so we'll be empty nesters. And I have a business that's failing after almost 15 years. And that's a lot. That's a lot to look in the face. And I've been grappling with all of this for 6 months. I just now am telling you about all of this because I really wasn't ready to look in the camera and talk to you about it. And I kind of didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to pack up my entire craft room and set it aside. I didn't know if I was just going to sell everything and be done with it. I didn't know if I was going to try to figure out how to keep doing this as a business. And like, yeah, I didn't know. So my friend Dawn tells me, he does background investigating part-time. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What does that entail? Long story short, he works for a company that does background investigations for people who are applying to become police officers and firefighters. And so I went with him. I sat in on an interview, signed an NDA and everything, so I can't tell you about it. But I went and sat on the interview and had a great time. He taught me all the things as far as like how it all works. I shouldn't say he taught me. He kind of gave me an overview of everything. And I am going to go to school, take a certification class basically to become a background investigator. So it's a 32-hour course. It'll be done in a week. And then I'll have a special certification from the state to be able to do background investigations for this company. So that's what I'm pursuing right now. And so what does that mean for you and I, for our friendship? Nothing really. It just means that I'm going to get to do this for fun now. Instead of doing this as a business, I'm going to do it for fun. And I'm praying that I still make enough money to sustain what I have going on. So we're going to talk about that and get into that here in just a second. So doing the background investigations, I'm really excited about because I feel like it's going to dip my toe into a totally different industry. And it's an industry where there's always a need. That was one of my first thoughts. What could I do to earn money for my home, for my family, that is going to always be a need? Because card making and crafting is not a need, it's a want. It's a joy. We love it, but it's not a need. So it's something that could end up going by the wayside. Something in the criminal justice field is never going to go by the wayside. So it's something that's always going to be available for me to earn money through. The ultimate plan, if I really enjoy the background investigating, I'm going to give myself some time with that. And if I do enjoy it, I'll probably start taking some criminal justice classes at the junior college. So that's the plan at this point. So that will be my main source of income. That way, it alleviates all the pressure from me to try to make this be my source of income. My husband, since January, has been working overtime for our family. And I don't want him to have to do that all the time. I don't want him to have to feel like he has to row this boat alone. We live in California and it is not cheap here, y'all. It's just not. We have And we don't even have any debt. Like, I don't know how people do it. I see people driving like new vehicles and all this stuff, and they must just, I don't know how they sleep at night. We're completely fine financially as far as like nobody's starving in this house. I trust me on that. Like, we're good, but we have a daughter that's going to start college next year, and she's got a horse. And so I've always been the one that has provided all of the extras. So now it's kind of been on my husband's plate to like provide, like pay for everything, the bills and everything, plus all the extras. And he has not complained one time. He is an amazing man. He works super hard. He has told me, like, figure out what you want to do, find your path. And he's just been super awesome about all of it. He's never made me feel bad for 1 minute. I make myself feel bad, but he doesn't make me feel bad. I'm really hard on myself. It's just who I am as a person. I'm working on it, but I'm really hard on myself. I'm an overthinker. I don't give myself a lot of grace. I give other people way more grace than I give myself. And so this shift is going to be, I think this shift's going to be amazing. And I have to tell you this. I did not settle into this decision until after the Honeybee Craft retreat. So I went away to Honeybee Craft's retreat for their 10-year birthday anniversary. I met the owner and her helpers, her worker bees, if you will. And I got to see the warehouse and spend time with people. And I did not film. I didn't do anything work related. I just went and enjoyed myself. I went and created, and my friend Sandra went with me. And that weekend was my little secret to myself of if I'm going to keep doing this. Because I didn't even know for sure if I enjoyed it anymore. I was like, I mean, I'm being really vulnerable and honest with you guys right now. I had hit a place where I was just like, do I even like creating and crafting anymore? I don't know, because when you make something a business, it changes everything. It changes the dynamic. So I thought to myself, I'm going to go into this weekend with an open heart and an open mind and see how I feel. And then the other thing I was going to do is I was going to think about what it would look like going forward. So what it's going to look like going forward is we're going to keep the Creative Vault open. The Creative Vault is my membership site. And for now, that's fine. It's paying for itself. So I have a fee that I have to pay for Teachable to host the Creative Vault. It's a monthly fee. So as long as I have enough people in there to pay the fee for that, I'm going to keep it going. I like it. I enjoy it. I think the people who are part of it enjoy it. And I don't see any reason to stop doing it. It's not a humongous time commitment on my part. And I really get joy out of that. The other thing is you're still going to see videos from me. So probably to you, nothing is going to change. Honestly, you're probably going to be like, I don't know why you did this whole video. Nothing's any different. The difference is going to be, I will do what I want when I want, with the exception of one design team. I will be on the Honeybee Stamps design team until they kick me off. And even then, they're going to have to like push me out the door, because I have never interacted with a company that is so welcoming, kind, and generous. Like, hands down, incredible people. Like, they were so awesome. And it's probably because I met them all in person, so that helps the whole thing. But they've been really good to me from the get-go, and I would not give up my design team opportunity with them at this point. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to start using other products in other videos when I want. And it's not going to be because I have to, and it's not going to be because, like, I'm done with the have to business. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be something of joy for me. And so Trinity Stamps and Waffle Flower Crafts and Concord and Ninth and all of those companies, like, I'm still going to use all their products. I'm still going to create videos for you. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I've decided I'm not going nowhere, but I am starting over a little bit. I'm starting over in this little bit of a weird realm. So I've launched a YouTube membership that's $2.99 a month that will help me. All my dogs are going to bark now because I have one little dog that insists on barking at everything. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. My dogs went crazy. But anyway, so nothing's really going to change for you. I'm going to keep posting videos. I'm still an affiliate. My links are below my videos. You know where they're at. So basically, when you shop with me now, think of it as you're helping me go through this transition, and you're also helping me just like before. I mean, it's essentially what's happening is I'm getting two part-time jobs. This will kind of be a part-time gig, but I'm going to get a part-time gig that's a for sure thing with for sure income. Imagine getting up every morning. Imagine getting up every morning, going to work, and making $2 all day, or $3, or $15. Some days you might make $100. Other days you might make 6 cents. My mental health cannot sustain that anymore. I need to get paid for working. So this has to become a hobby again, which I think is going to become a joy-filled experience, which probably is going to make more people want to watch my videos. I've looked at my video views. They've gone down so much, you guys. It's like horrifying. And I'm like, I was looking back over them. I'm like, well, they're kind of boring. Like I was looking at them, I was like, your videos are a little boring. And so, I'm really excited to go on this adventure and like kind of bring this back to a place of joy and just creating. And I really thought that's what I was doing when I left Stampin' Up. But then I got on all these design teams and I had all these commitments and I had all this stuff I had to do. And it really was still just like a job. So basically, I'm going to pursue some other hopes and dreams that I have. I'm going to take you along for the ride. We will have story times about what it's like, this 44-year-old woman going back to school and y'all, I'm starting over. That's how I feel. Like, I'm at a good place with it now, but there has been a long mourning and grieving process of like, what I'm going, just like, oh my gosh, I'm having to start all over. And I had this business that was so awesome. And it kind of just, it hasn't done well lately. And so, anyway, all of that said, if you love me, I appreciate you. If you've been here a long time, I appreciate you. I've made the decision to stay. I'm not going anywhere. I still will super appreciate it if you shop with my links, because that's how I'll earn income pretty much only, because companies just don't have the money to pay you right now. I do get a paid creator fee from Honeybee Stamps, but companies are just struggling. It's heartbreaking. And I'm sure some of them are facing the same thing I'm facing. People who own these stamp companies, I'm sure, are thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And so I'm just a small fish in a big sea. And there's other people that are having the same struggle. And so first I want to say like, love to everybody who's experiencing these struggles, because it's really hard. And whether you're in the card making industry or not. And then I want to say you can do it, because I'm doing it. And who am I? So you can do it. Like, figure out a way to make it all work. So that brings me to the next part of this video, which is so long and I've rambled on way too much. But the next part of this video is we are redoing my craft room. We are going to make it a small guest space and craft room together, because we sold our travel trailer. We had a travel trailer and we sold that. And so we now still need a place for people to lay their beautiful little heads when they come and visit us, because we don't have a very big house. So we don't have space in the house, but my craft space is is detached from the house. So we have figured out how we are going to make it into a new fun space. There'll be a little area for exercising, a little area for laying your little head and taking a nap, going to sleep for our guests, and then my craft room when you walk through the door / office, because I will need an office because I will actually be writing reports and stuff like that for my background investigations. We'll talk more about that and how all that works in another video. Okay, so this is kind of part 1 of a journey. Part 2 is I'm going to show you in a separate video what the plan is for this space. Without it, I'm going to do like a before video that's going to be what I originally thought I was going to do is I thought I was going to film at every stage and then put it together in one video. I ain't doing that. That's too much work. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to film in parts. So I'm going to film what it's like now so you can see it. Then I'm going to film when we're in the middle of some of the processes and put that video up. So it's going to be like, you know, multiple videos. And then there'll be like a little before and after, maybe at the very end. But you're on a journey with me. So you've been doing that a lot lately, haven't you? You're probably like, we're tired of your journeys, girl. But you know, I don't know about you, but it seems like a lot of people, women especially, in their mid-40s, go on this whole journey of discovery and change and having to figure things out new. So I'm thankful that my biggest problem is getting a different job and making this my hobby. Y'all, if that's the biggest fish I have to fry this week, we doing good. We're good. So anyway, I think that's it for this video. Love you. Thank you for being here. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if you've experienced this type of thing yourself and what you think about what's happening with the card making industry, and are you in it for the long haul like I am? And I'll talk to you again very soon. Watch out for that video with seeing all the changes that are coming. Bye guys.